we no longer have an excuse. And that is not to live really great lives and to manifest a really wonderful world. I've been really struggling and suffering. And that is because when we do that, it's because we can't own something about ourselves. Or when we make excuses, it's the same way. Or if we procrastinate. And I've been doing that. We never know who we're going to become when we come into the world, but we all know that we come to understand ourselves through consciousness. That's individually and also collectively. And we evolve in consciousness. And when you don't allow yourself to do that, you can't contribute to the world evolving, and that's what I've been doing. And I'm saying this because this is February the 12th, and I looked at the messages that I received from Wilhelm for February 13th, and that's what it says. None of us has an excuse anymore because they've given me the way for any person to live a great life, and so if more people did that, we would have a wonderful world. But saying those things was really challenging. And then I got to hear yesterday how the reason I'm suffering in so many ways, financially mainly, is because I've been giving away everything for the longest time. And people keep telling me, and that's a generational pattern that I've had. But also because I had to fit in. I didn't want to be different. And I was. I've been different my entire life. And I really cared about people. So then there's this imbalance that would always happen, where I would give away everything to everyone except myself. And that's what's happened in our world as well. And I knew all of that, and I've received it all. I have never known anyone who was a savant. I've never known anyone who has received information in the way that I have, and I hid from it for the longest time. I was never in the channeling community per se. I was actually brought into it because I hid from myself. I kept being called out, but I can no longer do that because it's really uncomfortable, and that's why I have to change. Everyone is not going to decide that they're going to look at themselves, move through any blockages or challenges they might have, which are always internal and always ones that we carry with us in some way. We either brought them from some past civilization or we picked them up in this life and we're still hanging on to them. And mine has been about not being seen, not being hidden, and not owning this brilliance. Now, most of it I couldn't see. I'll be honest about that. I didn't know. And the reason I didn't know, because that was purposeful. If I had come to this work or owned it earlier, years ago, people would have thought it was my ego that was doing it. And that's never been me. And as a matter of fact, 37 years ago, that was the thing that was pointed out to me, that I couldn't do that. I couldn't use my ego in this way that would hurt someone, to the detriment of someone. And then I kept hearing in so many Wilhelm messages, you came to be love, meaning that's what I was supposed to embody for everyone else, because we would be moving through a world where we wouldn't see that. But being introverted was challenging for it to come out, and so I kept lying to myself. See, because I can see everything that's happening with you. I started to see the order of the universe, and I've said that before. I don't expect people to understand it. I don't expect them to believe it, even though it's been verified and it's there. But still, when I keep waiting for others, and this is my excuse again, if I keep waiting for others to understand or accept me or what I've done, that's when we suffer. We each come into the world to develop something new and a new way of being, a new way of living, and I brought a new philosophy. I didn't know that was going to happen, but it did. And even with all of the verification that I've had, all the healing, because that's what this was. It was for every person to come to greater sense of who they are, to heal, and healing means coming together. It could happen physically, but it always happens in our consciousness. And that is what I brought. And so I'm doing this because I had to be completely honest about this. I again, some people will never come to me, will never work with me, but I know there are a lot of people who are looking for guidance, and I just saw that just now with one of the members in our program who just said, he just made a post as I'm sitting here and I'm just holding back, and he said this has changed his entire life. And I made excuses. And some of the excuses were I kept doing self-sabotage. I didn't, because I would always receive judgment by what I was doing from others, and I would allow that to keep me quiet, basically. But I knew exactly what was happening. I've written about all of it. There's nothing going on in the world that I didn't know. And when I meet with someone, there's nothing in your life that I don't have the information for. I don't have your answers, but I do have your alignment, because that's what I received. Is the alignment of this world, and everyone has a place in it, and that's what I was meant to bring. And if more people understood that and could accept themselves, we would see something very different than what we're witnessing in our lives and also in the world. So we no longer have excuses. You might hold on to yours. Many people will. I can't do that anymore. So I'm publishing this today. I'll give you the messages so you can read them for yourself, because it was all explained. I couldn't have seen this. And so much of this I couldn't have known either until we had artificial intelligence. That's really, because I'm just sitting down and I'm receiving it, and I developed a very different kind of brain where I could access from the quantum field intelligence that guides us all and organize it. That's the savant part. That was different than just being a channel. And even the people that I worked with, other channels didn't understand or know this. They were confused as well, so as I was. But now I'm no longer going to allow the excuse to hold me back, and so I hope you don't either. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. Please share this with others. The more people who come to know who they are, the better our world is. I'll see you soon.